So good evening, Anand. Can you hear me? Okay, fine. Thank you. Thanks for your confirmation. Now the time is exactly 5:30. So good evening, Anand. Yesterday we have given an assignment regarding GCD of two numbers. So this is the program actually. So let me take drawing tools. So first of all, I would like to run the program. So if anyone don't know about GCD, once again I will tell you. For example, I am taking the variable like 6 in A, and I am taking another variable value as 3. Okay, in both the numbers, if you want to find out the GCD, you should find out the factors of the both the numbers and which one is the greater than. That means, for example, I would like to find out the factors of 6. It is 1, 2, and 3, and 6. And what is the factors of 3? 1 and 3 only. So you can compare the both the lists, which one is the greater. So 1 is there, 1 is there, and 3 is there, 3 is there. So 3 is the GCD. That means for the 6 and 3, 3 is the GCD. For example, if you are giving a 9 and 2, so there is no common elements for 9 and 2. So 9 and 2. So 9 and 2 GCD is 1 only. Okay. So let me run it, guys. So enter the first number. I am giving 6 only, and the second number 3. GCD of 6 and 3 is 3. So we are getting 3. Okay. So this is the program execution. Let me explain, guys. The execution starts from A, that means 6th line onwards. A equal to int of input of enter first number. Okay. So the first number I have given like 6 only. The first number I have given 6 only. That means now A equal to 6. So it will store like A equal to 6. Next. So B equal to int of input of enter and second number. I am giving the second number as 3 only. So whatever the second number you are giving here, so that will be stored in B variable. So let me write it B equal to 3. And many of the students have done the same program like this. Okay. So this program was copied from our second CSC student, Miss Soumya. Okay. Next. Row number 523. Next. So coming to the print GCD of A and B is. So GCD of 6 and 3 is. If you would like to get this, A value will be printed like this and B value will be printed like this. Now GCD of A comma B. So this is the calling function. Here GCD is not a predefined because I am not importing any math functions here. Okay. So math module I am not including here. Okay. So GCD we have the predefined function, but here GCD I am declaring like only general user defined function only. You can create like greater. You can just take any variable greater like that. Okay. So the function name should be any name. It should be a valid variable name. So GCD of A comma B, that means A comma B means A value 6 and B value 3. So these will be copied into 6 and 3. Here once again I am telling these are actual arguments, these are formal arguments. You can take any other variable here. So not only A and B. If you want to take P and Q, that is fine. If you are taking M and N also here, that is fine. If both are same or both are different, it won't affect the program. Okay. So you should remember, guys. So in some interviews they may ask, is actual parameters and formal parameters should be same? No, not at all. Okay. It should not be same. So if it is same also, it won't affect anything. Okay. But it's not get if you're giving it different values also, different variable names also, it should be fine. So coming to the 6 comma 3, is 3 equal to 0? It will check the condition first. So 3 not at all equal to 0. Okay. The condition is wrong. That means it will go to the else part. Here GCD function is the user defined function. I am calling the GCD function again here. This is called recursive function because that function calls by itself is called recursive function. Okay. So that means in the function body we are having another function like GCD. So now yesterday we have discussed about linear recursion and binary recursion. GCD belongs to which recursion technique? It is also very important bit, guys. So please mention in the chat box. It is also very important bit. So once again I am telling, GCD belongs to which type of recursion technique? Please mention in the chat box. Yeah. Yes, very good, guys. So everybody, please note down the point. So these are very important. If you can Google it also, you can find the answer. Okay. In some interviews, they may get you will get like these questions. Okay. So GCD and factorial belongs to the linear recursion because it calls only one time in a program. So that's why it is called as a linear recursion. Anyway, let me execute it. So GCD of B, A mod B. Let me write here B. How I am writing this logic, I will tell you guys. No problem. B. What is the B value? B value is 3. 6 modulus 3. 6 modulus 3 means 2 3s are 6. Remainder is 0, guys. Remainder is 0. So whenever this remainder is 0, it will return the A value. That means GCD of 3 comma 0 means now again instead of 6 3, it will copy the values of 3 comma 0. Okay. That means A value is 3, B value is 0. Now again it will execute the body. G equal to 0. Condition is false. So 0 is equal to 0. Condition true. Return A. Return A means 3 value will be printed. That's why I am getting 3 is the output answer. Correct answer. GCD of 6 and 3 is 3. This is the way you can perform. Okay. For example, if I am giving 9 and 2. If I am giving 9 and 2, what will happen? So it will check the first value here. It will take like 2 because this is B comma A modulus B, right? So 9 modulus 2. What is the 9 modulus 2 value? 4 2s are 8. The remainder is 1. Now 2 comma 1 will be the A and B values. Now it will check 1 equal to 0 or not. So 1 equal to not at all 0. Then again it will perform GCD of B comma, that means 1 comma 2 modulus 1. What is the value of 2 modulus 1? Please guys tell me. What is the value of 2 modulus 1? 2 modulus 1. Everybody should answer. Some students are telling 2. That is wrong answer. 2 modulus 1. That is not 1. Tejashvi. That is wrong answer. I am asking 2 modulus 1. 2 modulus 1 means you have to do 2 by 1. Right? That means 1. You have to write 2 here. 2 ones are 2. The remainder is 0, guys. Don't forget. Okay? Not 2. Still some students are telling 2 and 1. So please Harshita. Okay? So that is the wrong answer. So once again I am telling guys. So 2 modulus 1 is the 0. So 0 means it will convert the GCD of B comma 0. B value is 1, right? So 1 comma 0. Again it will call GCD of 1 comma 0. So that means B value is 0 now. 0 equal to 0, return A. A value is 1. That's the reason I am getting 9 and 2 GCD is 1. So anyway I will tell you again guys. So because some two students are confusing. So still some students are confusing. Let me explain guys. Okay. I will take another variable. 7 and 3. 7 and 3. I am taking 7 and 3. So please tell me what is the GCD of 7 and 3. You know the answer, right? What is the GCD of 7 and 3, guys? Everybody should answer, please. Only some students are responding. Out of more than 200 students are there here. So okay, thank you. Enough then. So everybody is saying correct answer is 1 only. So you know that the greatest common divisor for the 7 and 3 is 1. So here earlier we done the same program using loops. Okay. So here in I think September 22nd I discussed about this. Okay. So this is the program actually. I am taking two numbers, I equal to 1 equal to less than equal to number and I less than equal to number 2, it will check. So it will check whether the number is modulus I will return 0 and number 2 is modulus I equal to 0, then GCD will be the particular value. We are calculating like this way. The same program, okay, can be done using recursion without using loops. That means whatever the programs you are doing using loops, that can be automatically done using recursion. So that is the best way of recursion technique. Okay. So everybody is saying that without loops we can't do anything in any programming language, but you can do using recursive function. Okay. So the functions plays a major role in any programming, not only C language and Java and Python. Okay, any programming language. So yesterday we have discussed about the Fibonacci series. Usually think like just Fibonacci series means we are doing like 0, 1, 1, 2, 3. If you check in the yesterday's material, I have clearly given how I am calling the method. Like because so you have to add n minus 1 plus n minus 2 like that. So this is the logic actually yesterday we have followed, especially when we are doing the exam, whenever we are doing the recursive function. But here we are just taking the values f1 and f2. You are adding two numbers, then you are storing the f1 equal to f2, f2 equal to f3 like that. Okay, so that is also one of the logic. But whenever you are doing with respect to the recursion technique, you should follow one technique clearly. So here I'm just writing a simple function called b comma a modulus b. That means here whenever b equal to 0, it will be the a is the ultimate answer. So why I am giving a modulus b means if it is the number is divisible by a particular number. For example, if I am taking 7 modulus 3, so it will give 2 3s are 6, remainder is 1. So in that case, whatever the value we are taking b, so that means it again it will check the recursive technique. So let me explain, guys. I am taking a value is 7, guys, and b value is 3. It will check GCD of 7 comma 3. These values will be copied into here 7 comma 3. So now b equal to 0, condition is false. Return GCD of b comma b value is 3 comma 7 modulus 3. 7 modulus 3 value is, please tell me the answer. 7 modulus 3 value is 489, wrong answer. Remaining all are correct answer. Thank you, guys. So 7 modulus 3 means 2 3s are 6, remainder is 1, guys. So I am getting 3 comma 1. Whenever you are getting 3 comma 1, again GCD means it will call the function. Now a value is 3 and b value is 1, guys. So b equal to 0 it will check. Okay, b equal to 0, the condition is false, guys. So it will go to the else part. GCD of b comma means 1 comma a modulus b. That means 3 modulus 1. 3 modulus 1 is 0. 3 modulus 1 is 0 because 3 1s are 3, remainder is 0, guys. So 1 0 now. Again it will call 1 comma 0. That means a value is 1 now, b value is 0. So now it will check b equal to 0. That means 0 double equal to 0. Condition is true. Return a. That means 7 and 3 GCD is 1. That's all. Simple logic, guys. Okay. You don't need to by heart the program. Okay. I'm just giving a simple logic. So b comma a modulus b. So you know these declaration you already know, right? I think you know, guys. Okay. So instead of this declaration, you can also give directly. Instead of just first I would like to change some values. You can take any value, like I am taking p, I am taking q. Instead of that I am giving p and I am taking q. Okay. So whatever the values you have taken, that's not an issue at all. Okay. So let me write it here. Here it is p and it is q. Okay. So let me run this program. Now I will give 7 and 3. I am getting 1. So that is correct answer, guys. So yeah, for example, in interview point of view, if they are asking any write as program in GCD in especially panel, technical interview panel, you don't need to write all these things, guys. Okay. You can just call GCD. Okay. You can just call GCD of any number. For example, let me give a 7 and comma 3. Because I already discussed, actual arguments are not only variables. That is very, very important bit. So that means whatever the values you are passing, those are called as actual arguments. Actual arguments can be, you can take in like values, that means constants, variables or expressions. You can take anything. Okay. So in C language or Java or Python, whatever it may be. Okay. But the formal arguments are always variables in C language and Java. But here we can give the values directly like keyword arguments, like a equal to 10. You can also give in Python. That is the facility we have. Okay. So now GCD of 7 comma 3. So that means if I am giving 7 comma 3, this 7 will be copied to A and 3 will be copied to B. You don't need to give A, B values. So I don't want to read again these values like that. But it will works for only 7 and 3 only. But this is not a good practice for just for I'm getting 1. I'm getting 1. I'm not getting even message like GCD of 7 and 3 like that. Okay. I'm getting 1. If I'm giving like 17 and 34. Okay. 17 and 34. I'm getting 17. Okay. So this is also the correct program. It's not a mistake at all. Okay. But we are adding some printf statements. It will add just beautification only. That's all. So I think everybody clear about the what is GCD and all. So let me move to the today's topic. So I think hope everyone completed what is GCD and what is a recursive technique, because we have completed the concepts. So recursive functions are also completed. And coming to the concepts, today I would like to discuss about some theory concepts up to 15 minutes. Don't worry, guys, because according to syllabus I have to go. So that's the reason I'm telling in this way. Okay. Mm. Is it executing, Soumya? 523. Because I want to do some decorations, because it is not in a proper way, I think so. Tell me, Soumya, please answer. But that means you have to give the two numbers with space, right? So some student is asking, I think she done in a different way. 1 minute. Okay. So this is the program she has given. S equal to A if, so you are given in a single line itself. Okay. And enter the two numbers. You are giving int of x comma y. Okay. Okay. So let me run it. Enter the two numbers. I have to give like 8 and 16 with space. Okay. So not space. What the value you are giving? Space or comma. Okay, fine, no problem. Let me give comma. I'm not watching your comment, Soumya, because so I'm doing this. I'm in the spider window right now. Wait, please. Yes, that is getting 4, but it is wrong answer, right? Wrong answer. Okay. There is a mistake in the logic, because 8 comma 16 means you are getting only 8, right? So the answer is 8 only, not 4. Okay. So anyway, you just try, no problem. But it is a very simple way. Actually I deleted the program. I want to copy everything. Anyway, let me Control Z. 1 minute. So Control Z is undo, right? I'm just pressing Control Z. Okay. Okay. Fine. Thank you. I got my program. Let me copy this code, and I will mention in your chat box. So you can copy the code. Okay. Soumya, you can copy the code. And I have changed only small things in your program. This is also submitted by you only. Okay. So I have changed only some lines. That's all. Anyway, guys. Yes. Thank you, Soumya. And so coming to the theory concept, actually today I would like to cover some theory concept, because here, according to syllabus, we are discussing about the syllabus concepts. Okay. So here until now we completed the concepts from up to this function. Okay. So these are function as abstraction mechanism or nothing, but we can take the abstraction means we are taking a necessary functions. That is nothing but abstraction. That's all. Okay. So anyway, case study gathering information from a file system. This is the topic I would like to cover. After that, I would like to cover managing programs namespace. So this is programming related, and this is not programming related. Case study, he is also telling case study. Case study means we have to do live execution like that. Okay. So anyway, I will tell you guys before going to that, everybody knows, like I think most of the CSC students know how to create a directories by using editors. For example, I think many of the students, only CSC students, I think know about DOS commands. So what is DOS? So anyone mention in the chat box, guys, who knows about DOS commands? DOS, what is DOS? Yes, very good. B9. I think you know. I don't know really, Priyanka. So how do you know? So in C language, I already told or not? Yes, very good. Excellent. Your second CSC students are also responding. CD, that is correct answer. Exactly. Yes, DAR. So these are the DOS commands. So I think only CSC students might know. That's the reason I'm telling this is a only theory concept. So don't worry. 1 minute, guys. Okay. So I would like to see my directories. Here there is no folder like temp dir. You can check here. Okay. So now let me move to the. Okay, fine. That's very fine. That's very fine. Thank you, Priyanka. So DOS commands are nothing but disk operating system. So some commands can be useful in C language and Java and whatever it may be. We have some DOS commands actually. Usually in third CSC or second CSC, we are having a subject like Unix. Unix is an operating system. Okay, so we are studying some commands related to the file system. So today's concept is a case study gathering information from a file system. So this is completely theory concept. I would like to tell the live execution with this, and after 10 minutes it will finish, no problem. I will enter into the programming concepts, don't worry guys, because you should also know because why these are concepts will be useful. In the last class I had told for example KW arguments and star arguments. What is the purpose of the KW arguments and args means? So there is no facility to there is no facility in C language and Java without knowing the number of arguments earlier. For example, if you are having the function with 2 arguments, we have to describe the function with, we have to define the function with 2 arguments only. For example, in usually when you are opening any registration form, in some registration links you will get a first name, middle name and the last name, but some students might not have a middle name. For example, my name is very big, so I have a middle name, but some students may not have. For example, some students, my brother name is just Ganesh, so his name is Arbala Ganesh, there is no middle name in that. Okay, so in that way, for example, in that way, so if you are filling the form, if you are leaving the empty space also, that should be stored in the that can be automatically stored in a database. That means Python is not only for web development, it can be used in lot of ways, like web development or application development or a console application development or text based applications or for example what I told you just now, that is database applications also. So that means that's the reason Python giving a flexibility for KW arguments. So that means you can pass the n number of arguments, based on that it will automatically take. Anyway, I already discussed about that. I take just take an example like my name Advala Kumar, like that I already told you guys. Okay, so in the same way, what is a file system means? That means for example, if you are in a final year student, if you are uploading any details regarding resumes and photo in a particular directory, so after that, so for example, if TCS is recruiting the students of 2022 and 2021 students, there is a large database for storing all the data in the background. So that means usually we have to create a, that means we have to create a one folder to store the each and every student values, like that. Okay, in that way also it should be fine, but there are a lot of ways. I'm telling only a example purpose I'm telling. So here we have Python having a facility like OS module. So we know that we know just till now we know only about math module and operator module. So today I would like to discuss about OS module, and this concept will be covered 2 concepts actually. So I'm telling case study gathering information system from a file system, and also I am covering these modules also, because I have already completed math module and operator module in this. So today I would like to complete the OS module. What is OS? OS full form is operating system. For example, if you are operating a system, operating system is nothing but our computer operating system. Okay, so OS definition is nothing but OS is an interface between user and computer hardware. That means whenever you are just bought a new laptop, okay, so it may not start automatically without OS. That means the OS is a major thing to operate the system first. That means that's the reason we are installing like Windows 8, Windows 10, okay, or Unix or Red Hat, okay, Ubuntu, or like that. There are a lot of operating systems we have. Okay, so even in the mobile phones also we are having a Windows operating system mobiles, BlackBerry operating system mobiles, iOS operating system mobiles, and Android operating system mobiles. These are the various OS types. Okay, so let me create a so first of all I would like to tell about the what is this function means. So in Python having the flexibility to create a folders dynamically. That means for example in the program itself it will be the conditions will be there. So let me run it. First of all, import OS. Let me just copy this code and I will run this here. So I would like to open a new window and I'm just creating import OS. Okay, so this is the OS. OS is a predefined module, so we are importing to our program. Okay, so now I'm creating os.mkdir. Okay, so my D directory is full, so I don't want to give D directory, I would like to give F directory. Okay, so because I have totally 5 directories in my computer system, C, D, E, F, G. So now I would like to collage data. It is my F folder, that means F directory. So let me store this. Yeah, I am creating a new directory, temp.dir. So if you want to create a directory from here itself, if you want to store any songs like that, so let me create a right side. You just click on new and click on folder. Then after that, if I'm telling that, for example, I'm creating Python like this, okay? So here it will create a Python folder in 39 to 2020 5:54 p.m. If you are opening anything, it will not get, the folder is empty. So likewise, it is a just a application that, for example, I'm doing in a by using in the front end. Okay, if you're using like back end, for example, let me give you os.mkdir. So here what is f means, in the f directory temp directory folder will be created. Temp directory means, first of all you should understand the definition, what is meant by directory. Once I will tell you guys. These are the, whatever here there is, that means yellow folders are there here. These yellow folders are nothing but directories. Here for example I am writing like escan protected online.java. These are the files. Okay, file means it's just having a content that have the information, but folders are nothing but, for example, if I have a folder like a TPO data, so here I'm all the TPO data will be stored in a different application. That means the folder can have multiple folders and have a files also. So in that way we can schedule our, that means we can maintain our data in our computer system. Usually in your mobile phones also we are having lot of folders. Okay, those are nothing but directories. So instead of creating from front end, you can also create by using coding. Like I am creating os.mkdir. Mkdir full form is make directory. Okay, so it is a method that is existed in OS. That's why I am giving os.mkdir. So the directory name is called as temp.dir. You can give any name if you want to give any folder. Like for example, I would like to maintain my files, resumes and all. I would like to create a file like resume. Okay, so it should be directory will be created automatically. So first of all I would like to run this line. So I'm not getting anything here. I'm not getting anything here, but I would like to open this directory again. I'm just refreshing the console here. You are getting, you can see here temp directory is there here, and it is created 39 2020 to 5:56 p.m. That means now exactly it is created. Okay, that means whatever just now I created the folder here. So instead of that, it is creating automatically when I'm running this code. This is nothing but a DOS command. DOS commands are having a lot of flexibilities. When you are, that means whenever you want to store large amount of data, it will by default it will create a directory and it will store everything. Okay, so this is the one of the way. So just now I created a Python directory. So it is just as we did earlier. That's the reason I'm creating like that only. Okay, but here what is a temp directory means, the temp directory is created by with our code like import os.mkdir. So mkdir full form is make directory. Make directory means creating a directory. Okay, next. So after that you can read all these lines. I don't want to explain anything. Okay, so I don't want to explain all these links. Just now I told the in the open directory you will get a temp directory folder is created like that. Okay, so anyway you can easily understand, that's not an issue guys. So changing the current working directory, for example, if you want to change the directory, because currently I am in a different directory, because for example if you're running the programs here I am running the programs here, you can see here. So this is the directory that means you can see here my programs are stored in this location. Okay, C users kumar.spider py3 my program /untitled1.py. So this is the location we are storing the programs. Okay, so let me remove it. So for example, so we can have a lot of like in C language we used to create like MD, CD and CLS. CLS is clear screen, and we are having date command for date and time command. But here nothing can be written, just it will show like how files will be created and how files will be stored in a database, like that we will know. Okay, so this is the topic only. So now let me create like os.chdr. What is chdr? Tell me. I would like to tell you guys. Chdr means change directory. Okay, so for example in C language in DOS commands we are using like MD space file name, and after that you can give like CD space file name. For example, if you're opening this folder temp.dir, there is no files in it. There is no files. This folder is empty. Okay, if you want to create any files in that, you need to change directly like os.chdr of. Again, you have to give the file path. That means whatever the folder you have created, you can give. No, you can give that. That's not an issue at all. Okay, and let me because I don't have such files in that. Okay, I don't want to create all the files right now. We can access the files by using this command os.getcwd. Okay, so let me write it here. Just I would like to give. I would like to remove this command because it's already created. Okay, so now I'm giving os.getcwd. I'm running the program. 1 minute guys, I would like to print, because you will get a message with get CWD. Get CWD stands for get current working directory. Current working directory you already know. I already shows the, and just now I shown the path of my directory C users like that. Okay, so let me run it guys. So here it is getting C users, Kumar, Spider, Py3, my programs. That means you can check, for example, in C folder I am having a folder like users. Okay, after that Kumar, you can go through this. Okay, Kumar, after Spider, so I'm getting Spider, and after that my programs. So this is the path, because here we are working the whatever the programs I am telling every day. So usually I am saving this folder. Okay, so we will get the current working directory. That means you can also create a new directory by using mkdir. If you want to retrieve which directory is used in your current directory, you can also check by using get CWD. Okay, so that is the purpose of get CWD. So you can also, for example, if you want to change directory to any folder, okay, that means any directory, you can give os.chdir like this. For example, if I am giving like os dot, okay, chdir of f, I would like to just change to f. Okay, I am removing this line. I'm just running the program, but it will not show anything, I'm telling. But that means now it will redirect the code. That means it will whatever the files we are saving, it will store in F folder. Okay, we can also change the directories if we want. Okay, but this is not mandatory, I'm telling. Okay, so that means it will show like the F directory will be that means we are moving to the F directory. Next, coming to the different examples. Okay, coming to the different examples, so we can also use like chdir with different folder names. For example, if you are not having any file name like tempdir, if I would like to move to any folder, for example, if my system having any folder like not get wd like that, so tpo data folder is there. If I would like to move to the tpo data, I would like to give os.chdir f:// and you have to give tpo space data. That means whatever the directory we have, you can also change the directory by using that. So it can also be using by dot method, but it's not preferable actually. Okay, but I'm telling because dot is a root method like that. And in the same way, if you want to remove a directory also, you can remove. But if the folder is having any files, it will not remove. Because for example, let me remove os.rmdir. Okay, let me give rmdir nothing but remove directory. So let me give here. I would like to give os.rmdir of f://tmp_dir. Okay, so yeah, you see guys here, I will go to the f folder. Here you can see temp_dir is there. Okay, here temp_dir is there. So now I would like to go to this command. Now I would like to run this program. Okay, so now I am opening the file path here. You can see there is no temp_dir here. Just now I already given in rounded box, so temp_dir is there. Temp_dir is there. So but here it is removed now because rmdir is a removed directory. If you want to check whether it is deleted or not, so that means there is no file in, there is no folder in that. That's the reason it is already automatically removed here. But here, so for example, I would like to do one more thing, because here, so that directory is empty. That's the reason it is getting automatically deleted. But here I'm having lot of programs in my directory, like I'm having lot of programs. Just now I already shown you guys. So users, Kumar and Spider, my programs. In that I have a lot of programs, almost 66 items are there. So let me remove with my command like this. Okay, so for example, if I'm giving like rmdir, I'm just giving c:// I'm just giving users folder, users. Okay, oh wait, okay, it will get access denied only, no problem. So here it is getting Windows error, access is denied because you cannot delete the files. That means you cannot delete any folders or directories. Okay, so directly if you have the content, that means if you are having a content, you cannot delete the directory. So that means that's why it is getting error. So I already mentioned in the notes also, you can check, no problem. So here it is getting like Windows 32 error, cannot access the file. Okay, that means you cannot remove those files, because in users file lot of important files are there in our For example, if you're just formatting your mobile, so that means some folders will not be deleted at all. Some folders may delete. Okay, that means those are nothing but system folders. Okay, so in that way you can see like that. Okay, so next, these are only asking for system directories like that. Okay, let me write it. Let me run it now. If you would like to, uh, view all the files in the list directory. For example, I would like to give os.listdir. Okay, I'm giving like os.listdir. That means if you want to retrieve, how to retrieve files in a directory, this is the question I would like to tell you guys. So here I'm giving users. Okay, let me run it guys. 1 minute guys. It is getting Unicode escape. 1 minute. So I'm getting / here. Okay, 1 minute guys. Okay, fine. So here I have to give /. I think in the notes it is getting on. Okay, I will change, no problem. Thank you. Control S. Okay, so now you can check guys. So now I am giving list directories. So I'm running the program guys. Okay, so 1 minute. I would like to give print statement because I'm not printing here. I'm just giving print statement and I will run the program. So on C guys, here. So 1 minute guys. So I will open my C directory. Okay, so here users folder is there. After users folder you have some files Kumar public, but some folders I have hidden. So even though it is hidden, so those are also will be displayed here. Okay, so let me see users Kumar default is like. For example, I would like to check another files. Let me open it. One minute guys. Okay, lot of folders are there, and 1 minute in public. Okay, public. Okay, no problem. I will give Kumar also. / is not needed. 1 minute. Let me check with. Okay, you can access only those folders. Okay, 1 minute. I will give list directory directly. Let me execute it first. Okay, so let me run it guys. Okay, fine. So that means here I'm getting all the programs, whatever the programs I have in the my programs. So I'm getting all these programs. Okay, so list directory means it will show the all the directories as well as folders. So this is also important function. That means method. So os.listdir. What is the function of listdir means it will show the all the directories in our system. That means whatever the path we have my programs. That means you can check. So let me open my programs. So here 66 items are there. Okay, you can find these 66 items in the right side here. Okay, you can check guys. Here we have all the files. Like for example, I'm writing reverse.py here. So reverse.py also it will be here. Okay, you can check. That's not an issue at all. I will just drag here. Okay, you can check, no problem. All the files, whatever the files I have in that particular directory, that means not only files, and those files and directories both will be printed here. Okay, both will be printed here. That means list dir. So till now we discussed about rmdir and chdir, mkdir. So now here it is getting that list dir. So for example, if you want to see all the directories also, all the files also, you can give dir only. Dir gives directories as well as files also. You should understand very carefully guys. Okay, then so I think these are only I think so these are only very important functions. So that's the reason only I'm telling. List files and subdirectories also, you can access subdirectories like I already mentioned. So next, these are completely theory concepts, that's why I'm telling this concept. Okay, so anyway, but you have to remember all the commands with respect to file system. Okay, so just now I told you what are the functions are there in. So let me move to the concept like managing a program's namespace, but it is somewhat very critical topic. So please listen guys, it is very important concept actually, because some faculty may don't know about this also, because these are very critical concepts actually. Program namespace is nothing but, so for example, I will give you a simple example, guys. Namespace. What is namespace? I will tell you. For example, in one function is there. I will tell you 1 minute, guys. So 1 minute. Let me clear all the drawings. I would like to go to this part. So this is the program actually. This is the GCD function. We can remove G here, CD here. We can remove G here. Just CD here. I'm just running the program again, guys. Okay. I'm giving like 55. I'm giving like 75. So GCD of 75 and 55 is 5. It is getting like this. Okay. So that means you can give any name here. But here sometimes you will get a confusion. You will get a confusion while the function having same variables. For example, in my class, okay, so many students having the same name. For example, I'm taking my name. My name is Kumar. For example, some students may name like Pawan Kumar. Okay, some students may like Lakshmana Kumar is also there in our CSCA. So that means if I'm just calling Kumar, please tell me the answer like that. Who will stand? So I have to mention one more thing. So that means namespace is nothing but this is very important in any point of view, because usually when I'm calling method names or variable name with same value, how the body will be executed, okay, how it will be executed, how compiler will know which function is calling. So this is the concept of a namespace. Okay, so that's the reason I have clearly mentioned here, guys. I will tell you. So just now I told you guys real-time example. The role of namespace is like a surname. That means if I am calling with, for example, so just stand up, what about Kumar? I'm asking like that, then only he will stand up, right? So if I am asking Kumar, only some students may, that means they may confuse which Kumar I have to stand up and I have to answer. Okay, that means this is some critical process, right? So here, for example, if you find like Alice in the class, there might be multiple Alice. Alice is a name only, but when you particularly ask for Alice Lee or Alice Clark with surname, that means Lee is a surname and Clark is a surname. You can give any name. I'm just copying from the internet itself. That's why the names are like Alice and okay. So there will be only one time. There will be only one. That means if multiple students are also there, but you can give a name like with your giving a surname, it will add the. We know which function is calling like that, which student is I'm calling like that. Okay, so just now I clearly mentioned here on the similar lines, Python interpreter understands what exact method are variable. That means if you want to call a variable also, if the same variable name is repeated twice, which variable will be the value. So this is the concept actually we are going to discuss right now. So it's name. What is namespace? Name means which means name, that is a unique identifier. What is space? Which talks something related to scope. Scope is nothing but you know already. In functions usually discuss about scope and lifetime. So in this function topics, I did not discuss about this concept of scope and lifetime. So because in the C language and Java we have a concept like storage classes. So you know that basically we have 4 storage classes in C language. First of all, it will take like auto, static, external, register. So these are the 4 data types, 4 keywords we have for storing the data, and we can retrieve the variables. How we can retrieve the variables? We all know what is the difference between a local variable and global variable and all. So you can declare how the scope will be, means how can the variable can access to the particular part. It will be decided by namespace. Okay, so there are different categories of a type namespace you can easily guess. So let me open this. So the built-in namespaces are basically 2 types. So one is local namespace and another one is global local namespace. Okay, so I think many students have know about what is global and what is local. So let me explain with a C language concept. Let me explain, guys, because I think you are familiar already, but I will tell you guys. 1 minute. onlinegdb.com. I would like to go for this. Okay, many students know about the commands like external. Okay, so auto, these are the keywords you already studied in C language, right? Okay, for example, if I'm giving after main function before, if I'm giving like int, a equal to, if I'm giving like int, okay, so a equal to 10 semicolon, and after that, so int, so I would like to ask you question, guys. Int b equal to 20. Okay, so if I would like to print a equal to b equal to values here, percentage d, and I would like to give percentage d again, I just give comma a comma b. But you know the difference between a and b, everybody knows, I think so. I will ask the question, guys. So here Which one is called as a global variable? Just tell me the answer in the chat box. Which one is called as a global variable? Yes. Excellent, guys. Excellent. All the students are responding. The answer is A. That means here, that means answer is A only, because here if that means here you can see the program. You can see the program. I am declaring a main function. Before that I am getting a value. So many students don't know about. So we have to declare every variable should be in main only. No, that's not a rule in C language. Okay. So let me here you can declare. So if I am running the program, I am getting the A and B values as in the output line. You can check here, guys. You can check here. I'm getting A value, B value also here. Okay, you can check here. So that means before main, whatever the values you are having, these are called as global values. That means global variable. A is a global variable here. These are very important in a special interview point of view. What is the difference between a local variable and a global variable? I will tell you the difference right now. So this is called local variable. Whatever the variable that will be in the main, it is called as a local variable. So by default it is having the keyword like auto, but here by default it will having a keyword like extern. So this is called internal or external variables, or like global or local variables. This is the major difference. So what is the use of global variable? I will tell you. If I am calling any function add in a C program, if I am calling any function here like this, if I have another function with body add, with function body like add, and I am calling the method here, and I would like to print a value here. So you can understand clearly, guys. If I am calling a value here, it will get the a value 10, and here also I will get 10 value. But if I am calling b value here, it will give error, because b cannot be accessible outside the main, because b is a local variable and a is a external variable or global variable. If you declare any variable before the main function, it can be accessible anywhere in the program. You should understand. This is the local and global variable, guys. Okay. So I think many students already know about that. But if till now we have discussed about functions, we already completed also about the functions. But we have some more concept with respect to the global space and local namespace. Now I will tell you the difference between a local namespace and global namespace. But I don't want to tell you all the definitions, boss, please. So you can go through the notes. I would like to, I always use you to get the example with the example programs only. If you are not familiar, if you're not understanding the examples, you can ask your doubts, no problem. Okay, this is not the program actually. This is not the program. I'm telling only this. If I'm having a function with a value, b value, c value, it should be fine. If I am having a value here, and again I am calling the a value in the function and inner function also, then which a value will be taken to the consideration? This is the question mark, big question mark in Python. Okay, but the Python always gives the flexibility to the user. So it in this concept also Python gives a excellent feature we have. So I will tell you all the concepts now. So don't worry, guys. So let me create how to create a namespace. So first let me run a program. So in the previous case, whatever I'm just I 1 minute, guys. So I just know I have taken like A B C like that. If you are taking A B C, that should be very fine. But just now I already told, if I'm teaching one class to the particular class, so almost 60 students are there. 60 students, some almost 10 students may have same name itself. Okay, so in that case, what we have to do? In the same way, programming also we have to get the clarity, because I am using a function here. So because here so some may confuse about this program. Please listen, guys, because it yes, no problem. Yes, outside the main function. Okay, so so some students may confuse, so please listen carefully, guys. Okay, so I will tell you in detail manner, no problem. So this is the program actually. So here whatever the definition we have, but the program execution always begins from 11th line only. Okay, the program execution always begins from 11th line only. If I am asking the what is the output of this question, many students may confuse. Can you please tell me the answer? So if you see the program, if you observe the program, we will get 3 print statements. That means we will get 3 values, guys. We will get 3 values. Which value will be printed first? Which value will be printed next? Which value will be printed third time? You just mention in the chat box. Don't confuse, guys. Archana, good. Okay, fine. So Saujanya, okay, I don't reveal the answer, but it is wrong. Manasa, I want three answers. I want three answers. Vishnu, that is wrong answer, I think. uh, yes, many students are confusing. Yes, I want this confusion only. That's the reason the namespace concept is there in Python. Okay, so because many students are confusing about, yes, many students are confusing. Don't worry, you will send the answer. You can check whether you are telling the correct answer or wrong answer. You can definitely know. Within 5 minutes, I will give you a clear-cut clarity, guys. Okay. Okay, fine. So 40, 45, that's fine. Very good. And Pujita, only one value you're giving. Okay, fine. Don't worry, guys. Okay, let me explain, guys. Let me explain. Okay, don't worry. I will tell you. That means if you're taking a different variable names, it won't affect anything. You can easily tell what is the answer. But here, I just now told that many students are with the same name, right? In the same way, I am a value defining here. I am giving a value here. I am giving a value here. Here, what will be the value? Here, what will be the value? Here, which value will be printed? This is the big question mark. These are the very important questions in, especially in the written test examinations, they will give like that. Okay, many students will confuse definitely. Okay, so I will tell you the detailed manner. Don't worry, guys. Many students are responding. Thank you very much for your response. I will explain. Please listen. So I am running the program. You can check your question. So the answer is A equal to 30, B equal to 20, A equal to 10. That means whatever the values are telling 30, 20, 10, that is absolutely correct answer. Okay. So let me explain, guys, how I am getting these numbers. Okay. So the execution starts from a value 10, outer underscore function. This is a calling function. Whenever this calling function is calling, it will go to this part. Calling, that means outer function is there here. Outer underscore function is a function name. Okay, don't confuse, guys. Why I am giving underscore? Because the function name may not allow any spaces. That's the reason I am giving underscore, because underscore is a special character. Why I am giving outer underscore function? You can give o underscore f also, but it should be meaningful. Okay, don't ask such questions. Okay, so outer underscore function. So I'm just going to this part. Now I'm getting a equal to 20. Okay, so after that a equal to 25. It will not execute. It will not execute, guys. It will not execute. Okay, so first it will check. That means 1 minute, guys. 1 minute. 1 minute. I am also confusing. Please wait, guys. Okay. Okay. So here a value is 1 minute. I'm taking time to see here. Okay. So here a value is 20. That means after that this line will not be executed, guys. This line will not be executed. Okay. It will go to this part because here def is there. That means it is inner function. That means nested function. You have the concept like nested function. These are the concepts not discussed in the syllabus itself, but I am telling because of namespaces can be better way you can explain by using nested function. We know already about nested for loop. The for loop inside another for loop is nothing but nested for loop. In the same way, the function which is having the another function, that means is called nested function. Okay. So now this means after a equal to 20, it will check. So inner function only. It will take only inner function value only. That means it is a calling function. It is a calling function. Okay. So inner function means it will go to this part. It will go to this part. It will not print this line. Okay. Because here it is calling, guys. Okay. Inner underscore function means it is going to this part. A value 30. A equal to 30. After that print a equal to a. That means a value 30 will be printed, guys. After that function is completed, again it will go back to this position. After that print a equal to will be printed. Here what is the a value? The a value is not 10 here. You already know that the outer function value a value is 20. This value will be printed in this case. Okay, because here I am giving a only for all the namespace, all the names, all the identifier names. So you will get a confusion. That's the reason you are telling in a different answers for everybody. For example, I asked almost 25 students responded in the chat box. Out of 25, only 5 students responded answers are correct only. Okay, so because they may confuse everyone confused, because if you're giving like B here, nobody will confuse. But program, that means interview point of view, they may confuse, guys. Okay, interview point of view, they will ask these type of questions only. Okay, so I think now after print a, the means because inner function concept is completed. Whenever inner function is completed, this a value 30 will not be taken into the inner function means, because whenever the inner function is calling, then only the value a value is 30. So after that a value will be taken like 20 only, because this print belongs to the outer function. This print belongs to the outer function. Okay, so now it will go to the a value is 20. After this completed, so it will again go back to this line. So outer function is completed. Now a value will be printed. What is the a value here? A value here is 10. So this value will be taken like 10 only. So you may confuse, guys, but this is the concept I would like to tell you. So that's the reason I am telling this is nothing but a namespace. How we can identify means we have to understand the logic. Then only you can understand what the program will be. Okay, and I will tell you one more thing also. Please wait, guys. Okay, no problem. Oh, so some students are asking, 1 second, please explain. Okay, no problem. I will explain. No problem. So if I am giving it here B, if I am giving B here, if I am giving B here, if I am giving C here, you may not get confusion. Okay, but namespaces are nothing but how we can identify if you are having the same name, how it is calling. We have to define like that. Okay, we have to define like even here in here you should understand whenever we have DEF, this is function body, but this will be go to that whenever we are having a calling function. Now a value is 10, guys. First outer underscore function means it will calling that function outer underscore function. Okay, so after that a equal to 20. That means now a value will not be 10, because here in this function it is having a new value. So that means the scope and lifetime, we have this concepts in C language and Java also. The scope and lifetime is nothing but whenever you are assigning a new value to the particular variable in that body, the value is allotted only 20. That means after a equal to 20, this will not be executed, because this is a function. Again, DEF means it is a function body. It should be executed whenever you are calling inner underscore function in a program. Inner underscore function means after a equal to 20, it will go to this line only first. Inner underscore function, that means here function is calling, again it will go to the inner underscore function. Okay, a equal to 30 here, that means a equal to 30 and a equal to printing I am here, so that's why I am getting a equal to 30 here. After that completion of this inner function, it will execute this line, but this line belongs to the outer function a. That means in outer function I have defined the variable name value like a equal to 20. So now a equal to 20 will be printed here. After that outer function is also absolutely executed, because all the conditions in the outer function are completed. After that it will go back to this position, outer function is completed, then it will move to the print line. So here a value is 10 only. It will not take 20 and it will not take 30. It will take only a value as 10 only, because it is a local scope to the particular variable. That's why I'm getting 10. Okay. Hope it is clear, Monica. Next. So the next function, guys. So here Python having some keywords like global. Global is a keyword in Python. Okay, so global is a keyword in Python. Let me explain the same program with I am adding global a. Okay, so what is the difference between a global and a normal variable? I will tell you, guys. If I am executing this program, I am thinking that I may get 30 30 30. Yes, that's absolutely fine. Okay, thank you. So let me explain, guys, how I am getting 30. So before going to that, I would like to explain what is a global. In C language and Java, we don't have the global as a keyword. Okay, so I always use it to explain a keywords table. So it is there in my desktop only. I will open this. You can check. So global. So this is a keyword. We are having in Python. Okay, so now I will explain what is a global keyword. Now I will cover that concept also. That means how we can avoid the namespaces means we should consider. Then that means, for example, we have to add some commands like global in that program. then we can easily understood the concept like, okay. So I will explain the program now. So here I am assigning a equal to 10, guys. So let me explain, guys. Here a equal to 10, outer underscore function. So outer underscore function means it will go to this part, okay. It will go to this part. So global a, here I am defining a equal to 30, a equal to 20, okay. Here I am giving a equal to 20. After that, global means it should be the final value. Global means actually it is a global value. So in all the functions it will take that particular value only, okay. So now a equal to 20. After that, these two lines completed, it will go to the inner function body. So inner function means again it is a calling function. So whenever inner function is calling, it will go to this part. So it will go to this part, it will take like global space a. So global a means here a is a global variable. Global is a keyword which is used to assign the particular value. For example, in C language, if you are assigning one value to the global variable, for in every function that value will be the final value. In the same way, for example, if I am taking a equal to 30 here, okay, if a equal to 30 here, that means I am printing a value here, it will be the 30 will be printed here. After the inner function is completed, so again it will go back to this line, but this value only will be considered. This value only will be considered because here I am assigning global a. If you are assigning one value first time, that finally it will take that value only, okay. But it can be worked depends upon the program. I will tell you another example also, don't worry, guys, okay. So that means a equal to 30 means it will take this a value here also, then that's the reason I am getting 30 only. Even though you are declaring global a here, but it the first time, so whenever the function is calling, it will it is taking like a equal to 30 here, okay. So that means here it is a global variable, then it is taking a equal to 30, and after that again it will go to this part also, it will get 30 only, okay. So it will not consider any variables, okay. So because whenever you are having a print statement, after the before statement is a equal to 30 like this, it will be the final value, okay. 1 minute, I will discuss more about global keyword, okay, because according to the topic I am going. So now global keyword in Python. So you know about the rules, you can go through the material. I will tell you the examples, okay. First of all, I would like to give a simple example for better understanding purpose. So here I am giving a simple example, guys. I hope you definitely understand this concept. So coming to this question, now I am giving a value 15, b value 10. So here I am declaring like global variables. I'm here, of course, here I am giving 1 minute, guys. I am giving you only comment lines. You don't need to read all these things. So here I am giving add only. So it will call from add, okay. But here I am declaring global variables here. I am declaring global variables, but I am not declaring like global. I'm just giving a equal to 15. In C language also, before the main function, you are declaring int a equal to 10. You are not adding external keyword in int before the int. Okay, you don't need to add also in C language also. Okay, so I'm giving a equal to 15, b equal to 10 here. It is a global variable. After that, add function is calling. So C equal to a plus b means a value 15, b value 10. So 15 plus 10 will be performed. C value 25 will be printed. Here I am not giving a and b values here. Of course I am not giving, but it is accessing from global variables. Okay. So here there is no main function. That's the reason so many students are confusing how the output will be printed. But don't confuse, guys. I will give you another example also. Don't worry. I am having almost 6 examples for your understanding purpose. I almost taken 6 examples. So I have prepared 19 pages almost. So I am just in the 10th page. Okay. So don't confuse. So now, just now I discussed about to access a global variable inside a function, there is no need to use global keyword. That means inside a function, there is, here I am giving to access variable inside a function, there is no need to use global keyword. Okay. So let me give another example. Now I'm taking, if we need to assign a new value to a global variable, then we can do that by declaring the variable as global. That means what is the difference between the above example and below example, you can definitely know. Okay. So here Here definitely you may confusion. Okay, 1 minute, I will copy the code. 1 minute, guys, please. Okay, so I'm giving a equal to 15. Okay, it will get error only. So I'm getting a equal to 15. So 1 minute, I will just move because you may confuse with the previous lines. Okay, so here I'm calling change. A equal to 15 is globally defined. Now I'm performing a equal to a plus 5. So it cannot be done, guys. It cannot be done because in earlier example you are adding a value with b value. Okay, you are already defaultly you are assigned a value a equal to 15. If you want to change a plus 5 like this in the body, it cannot be performed. Local variable a referenced before assignment. Okay, that means here whatever the value you are taking, it is like a global variable, but here adding that to the particular variable. It cannot be done in Python, but you can do in an alternative way. I will tell you, that is also I will tell you, don't worry. So with global keyword I am telling, with global keyword I am telling, without global keyword just now I told, but with global keyword I will tell you guys. Okay, now I will give like so 1 minute, guys. I will give global a. I will give global a. Okay, 1 minute, guys. Next, after that, uh 1 minute, inconsistent tabs. What is this tabs? 1 minute, guys. So now Python program to modify a global value. One minute, guys. I will copy this code in a different. Sometimes it may show like this. Okay, spider ID is not responding sometimes. 1 minute. This doing sometimes it is getting error. Please wait, guys. Spelling is correct. Global GLOBEL. That is also correct. Inconsistent tabs. What is this tabs? Anyone find, please? What is the tab? Inconsistent use of tabs and spaces in indentation. Oof, I have given correctly, no problem, guys. Why it is getting error? The same logic is here. It is working. Let me run it here. 1 minute. Yeah, I'm working here. It is getting, but it is not getting. Why it is not getting? So print of a. Oh, what is whatever maybe a equal to 15. DF change global x global. Okay, no problem, guys. Anyway, we will discuss tomorrow because it is getting some error. No problem. So that means global. If you are adding global keyword, then you can change that particular value. It's not. It will not be affected, guys. Okay. So anyway, I will tell you tomorrow. Don't worry. So almost 6:38. So sorry for the delay. If you have any more questions, you can ask up to the remaining concepts. No, we can do in a different way. So don't worry. I will tell all the examples, Naveen. We have a lot of examples with respect to global. Almost I have created 6 examples, I think so, because many students may confuse. That's the reason I'm telling. Because I have created so many examples. Don't worry. Increment in the sense, for example, there is no increment operator, right? You can give plus only. Okay. So that's not an issue at all. You can give plus. That's not an issue. Still, any more? Any doubts, please? Any more doubts, please ask in file systems or directories or whatever it may be. Nobody's asking. Yes, your answer is correct. Your answer is correct. 545, no problem. So that means we have another keyword also. So I'm not revealing today. Actually, we have another operator like another keyword like non-lock. You can do in that way also. Yes, Naveen, whatever you are asking, that is absolutely fine, no problem. You can use like global directly. Yes, you can use anywhere, no problem. Okay, thank you guys. Nobody is asking questions. I hope it is clear. I will send the material, don't worry. I will tell you in detail about the global variables, don't worry. Okay, tomorrow we will continue. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Stay home, stay safe.